Hello, my friends. Welcome to Club DGX. Today, we're going to take a look at a question from one of our members on the channel, one of our fellow DGX owners. And I want to say thank you to Robert for your continued support and sending in this question. So Robert says, since a lot of us who are purchasing the DGX are first-time users of an arranger type instrument, you would think Yamaha would bend over backwards to provide better documentation on how to use all the functionality and capabilities that they have built into this keyboard. Thank God for you and your very informative channel. Thank you, Robert. One last rant, if you don't mind, regards a problem I'm having trying to use the free standalone version of the SoundPaint sampler 1928 Steinway piano and trying to play a classic piano ballad style using the multi-finger chord mode on the DGX 670. I currently have the DGX 670 set up in split point with the chord detection area to lower, style set to B0 and left set to B2 plus, accompaniment and sync start on, and parts left, main, and layer off. MIDI setting is keyboard and style, which allow me to play the SoundPaint standalone version 1928 Steinway from my computer connected to the DGX 670 by using a USB host cable, which is great. But when I start playing the style and doing the multi-finger mode changes, I get a drone-in sound along with the style playback, which is very loud and overpowers the 1928 Steinway piano. I do lower the volume of the style playback in the DGX mixer and try to increase the volume on the piano in the SoundPaint app, but it doesn't seem to be communicating properly with the DGX. And after looking at all the unhelpful Yamaha DGX 670 documentation, which tells me it could be an improper MIDI setting, or maybe a wrong accompaniment setting, or a voodoo curse that may be causing the playback problem, I decided it was definitely time to ask Sir DGX expert Phil what might be going on here. Thank you in advance for letting me get my frustrations with Yamaha out of my system, as I do feel very much better now. So Robert, first step, deep breath. Deep breath. All right, so here's the deal. This is why I love hearing from you viewers, because it pushes me the extra mile to look more into what is at play. So I'm going to shift screen so that you can see a little bit more of the DGX and a little bit more of the DAW on the screen. There's a reason why you're seeing this DAW over here. It's because instead of SoundPaint, I use Mixcraft, which people find has been very trivial, but it's not about the tool, it's what you can do with it, right? So the world is at my fingertips with Mixcraft. I've been using it for a while. So I want to show you how I would navigate this piecemeal to detect the problem. I'm not saying I've been able to replicate it. I don't have the Steinway module, but I tried a few things, and along the way, some ideas came to me, Robert, which you might want to try out, okay? So let's start off by changing the view so you can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to use the style that you see on the screen, and it's the very first style that comes on. Let's see. Okay, so Robert, what you're going to be hearing is not the DGX 670. I mimicked what you did, right? I didn't use the same style, but I used the same approach. I took the MIDI out from here, it's going into the DAW, and all the sounds are MIDI sounds that you're going to be hearing for this. So what I would do is troubleshoot each MIDI channel. Like here, this first one, you can hear it a little bit. This is not the DGX sound. This is the sound coming from the DAW all the way to the drums. But you can see I have isolated each MIDI channel. So I've noticed the habit for some of these styles. They start from 9, so go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is the MIDI 9 channel. See, I've isolated it, and if there's a problem, I'm able to detect what it is. Then this is 10. 10 is not very loud, but it's on. Let's see what's going on. And over here, I can mute them as well and see what's going on. So that's meant to be a kick. Oh, it's there, very low. You hear that? So I gotta put some compression on there to make it stand out. That's a whole lot of compression. Very low. Hear that? So Robert, that's the advantage of being able to mute each MIDI channel on my DAW and on the keyboard so I can track what the problem is. Now, if I allow that first one to play, you hear that? Very low, but it's there. And I actually panned it, so bring it back in. So if I were you, I would do this. And here is the bass. So we're not hearing the bass. Let's see if I can get the bass up. Okay, I need to unmute it here on the screen. You get what I'm doing, Robert? You gotta isolate the MIDI channels. And again, all these sounds are the sounds from either a VST or a DAW. Okay, here are the guitars. So one thing your question pushed me to do was to activate my AGML guitar, which sounds quite real. So thanks for the question, because it made me test the possibilities. Can I use VSTs as opposed to the sounds from the DGX to give a more realistic feel? And there are two guitars here, actually. Here's another one. So just those two. Hear that? All right, so panning them wide just gives a more interesting sound. Okay. And then we have some strings. And for the strings, again, to, try to mimic what you did, I used a VST for this. Let me come over here. All right, so I used a VST chamber orchestra. So I'm using a couple of VSTs, and they're playing quite well. I didn't show you this one. It didn't come up on the screen, so let me show it properly. This is the guitar VST. See? So the guitar VST, the strings VST, they're working very well. These are VSTs. just like the Steinway you're trying to use. See? And then the final one is it's this electric guitar down here. So let me unmute. It should play. I think it's 7 or 8. And may not be here in the pattern A, but oh, there it is. Very low. So sometimes you have to boost these VSTs. They're so low. Hear that? Okay. All together. So that's pattern B. You gotta mix them though. Gotta mix them. Yeah, the tambourine all the way on the left there, or wherever, depending on where how you're wearing your headset. All right, let's play the intro now. Okay, there was a failure in one of the instruments, but there you have it. Okay, so Robert, I hope this is giving you some ideas on how you can troubleshoot what is happening in what you're trying to achieve. Let's play the break. Converts quite nice. Let's get this here. Now, I will say there are some spots, Robert, especially on the guitar, that didn't convert very nicely, but for the most part, everything else did, and it's just going to require some trial and error. So you're trying the, let's see, you're trying the classic piano ballad. Let's go to ballad, and let's go to classic piano, and the drums aren't even playing. Well, that's fun. No drums yet. Okay. So it's just playing some guitar or something. But it's playing. Let's go to B. So, one of the things you can do as well is an apples to apples comparison, Robert. So, what I'm going to do here is bring an audio track to do a comparison. Let's bring the audio up. Okay, let's put on Portable Grand. So Robert, what I'm doing is I'm bringing in the portable grand audio track, and I'm going to, so that's what's coming from the DGX, okay? So I can hear it's got some piano. Let's check out which one is the piano. So let's come back here. Change the screen. All right, which one is the piano? Let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's track 13. Okay. So track 13. Okay. So let's mute the audio from the DGX. DGX audio. So I'm muting the audio from the DGX, and I'm going to explore one of the settings over here for piano, because it sounds like piano is being played as guitar here. So let's see. That sounds so strange. Very strange bass sound. Okay, I think this is the one that's the piano. So let's try VST instruments, and I'm going to try some other Steinway from one of my, something in my collection. Let's see. Something close, or at least. So this doesn't sound bad. This is the Pianissimo VST. Let me try a Steinway VST from a different company. See if it works. So this is the New York Steinway from Piano Tech. Seems to be working all right. Can pan it. Let's put the other instruments in. I don't like the bass though. Bass sounds off. So it immediately transposes to -12, Robert. Let's take a look at this. So over here I have -12. I don't like that. It should be 0. So maybe you can turn yours to 0 and you might get a better result. All right, let's try some of the variations. Let's go to C. Let's go to D. My computer's running out of space. All right. All right. So what I'll say right off the bat, Robert, the DGX sounds, they work so well with the styles. The other sounds, the collection of the VSTs and the generated sounds from my DAW, they don't work as well, as you can see. So this is DGX, check it out. So DGX, but what happens when I go back to my VST sounds? Even though they're stronger, they don't sound as nice. Okay. All right, Robert. I hope that gave you some ideas on how to troubleshoot. Thanks for the question. I learned a lot from it. I hope you're able to navigate your way through some experimentation, trial and error, failing, huge documentation from Yamaha. Take care, Robert, and thanks everyone else for watching. Bye for now.